Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta. No matter where in this wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world you might be, thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. Well, all I can say, it was well worth getting up at 3:30 in the morning for. Let's rock and roll, squaddies.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Welcome back to Squad Central. Hope you have all had a good week. I am literally just changing my moniker name here as well. So let's reveal. Oh, that's right. Victory with a K. And joining me once again for the post-game show is my main man, Mr. James Johnston, a.k.a. at LL Cool James 91. Bosh.
Yes, thank you. And you know how whenever I'm normally here, you burst into a lovely sing-song, don't you? Which is 9 times out of 10 is Meatloaf.
Yes.
I know people look at me and they think I'm only one side across the music sphere, but I'm actually very, very well versed. And I put some tunes on today before the game got on, and I was doing bits around the house, and a song come on, Sophie, and you'll know this song right away. I know you'll know it straight away, and I know a lot of the squaddies will know it right away. I can't sing, so I will read the lyrics.
Okay,
but
that's it. Wow, I wasn't expecting this. Let's go.
It has an amazing intro because it's how I feel about this game and right now, this moment. And it goes, never on Sunday, Monday's too soon. Tuesday and Wednesday just won't do. Thursday and Friday, we can begin, but our Saturday love will never end. And Saturday Love, Alexander O'Neill and Cheryl, I believe. That's how I feel at the moment.
Tuesday, Wednesday, exactly. Thursday, Friday, Saturday Love.
That's
Monday,
it.
Tuesday,
you
Wednesday.
You can sing, I
can't. I can't sing. I don't know if,
you
would consider that singing, but singing for sure are the Gooners across all nations and continents today. The 12:30 kickoff in the UK. And of course, we have to greet our Apple and Spotify listeners. Welcome to everyone on audio. I'm sure you enjoyed the game as much as our YouTube live crowd right now. Please do not forget to hit the like button and also subscribe on Apple and Spotify so you do not miss a show. 3-0 to the Arsenal. And it is one of those days where you just think, you know what? Waking up at 3:30 in the morning was well worth it, James. I literally just put my beanie on here and a sweatshirt. I was just going to stay in my bathrobe, but I thought, no. I got to dress up a little bit. So this is like my black tie outfit for this time of the morning. Make sure that you listen to our Chief Like Officer, Tammy Steels, on the road to 20K. Hit that like button. Squaddies joining live one by one here in chat. Let's say, look at these Aussies showing off. 9:30 kickoff for the Aussies, says Archangel. Yeah, all right, stop boasting. Terence is here. Let's say hello to a few of them. Mark's here. By the way, Carol sent me an epic picture of Albert with Potsy's mum and dad from the stadium today, and there will be a post game direct from the Emirates from Albert in our video section, so don't miss that. Magic Mike is in the house. Hello, Magic. How you doing? Hope you are well. There is Carol herself. Absolutely fantastic. Daniel is here. Ayushman, PW, Yasul PW. Get the souvlaki on because Ange Postecoglou was barbecued and skewered today. Hello, Angela. Hello, Ian. Hello, Lone Star. We've scored 500 goals in 2 games. I love it. It's fantastic. Jay, hello. Good to see you. DS. Lots of you here. Title number 14 and number 14 showed up for us today as well. We'll get stuck into it. Let's dissect. Let's discuss. And before we do that as well, just wanted to give a massive, massive shout out to our Arsenal women who battered West Ham yesterday. Alessia Russo putting on an absolute clinic and show in a 5-1 win Back heel, I don't know whose back heel was cheekier, Alessia's yesterday or Ezza's today. Beth. Me.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I'm coming out twice. I could hear my own self as well. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Right. I'm here. Help me out, chat. Help me out, chat. Throw some stuff that I can react to. Throw me out something that I can react to. I can't do this all by myself. Dead air is a crime. And we are absolutely in dead air. Yep. I'm winging it. I'm winging it. It's my moment to shine. What a game, guys. What a game. 3-0. Three lovely goals. We're probably going to touch on a bit more later. If we want to do it chronically, line up today. When it come out, I know some people said about Declan Rice not being in there. I was happy with it. I totally understood it. You know, he played the 2 games for England. So I thought, well, he's gone for Moreno. He's done well, hasn't he, with JJ get Magic Mike. I can't bring anybody in. I haven't got the access, Mark. I haven't got the access. Who was my man of the match? Do you know what, Ian? To start with, it was going to be Madueke. Then as the game went on, I thought, oh, do you know what? Mosquera's looking like he's going to get man of the match. And then it had to be Zubimendi when he scored, when he scored twice. I thought you got to give it to Zubimendi. But yeah, Madueke, awesome. And do you know what? I was really happy for him when they took him off, that he got the standing ovation and everyone was chanting for him. Is Sophie back? I'll keep trying to find stuff that I can react to from you all. Name your top 423 Arsenal player. No. Would Martinelli have made that assist for Victor Gyokeres' goal? I don't think he would have. Personally. Ah, he's here. Someone that can host.
It occurred to me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me at least?
Yes.
Good. Save me.
It occurred to me that back when I was doing Highbury to the Grove, possibly to return at some point, I actually had access to the Highbury Squad. So I hope you're not mad at me for this, but I'm trying to help. Are you good?
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. I hope you don't mind that I did this. I was trying to save James from.
Someone had to save me.
James doesn't need saving. He knows what to do. But welcome, Mike.
He said 20 times that he needed saving.
Oh, really? Oh, God. I don't know what's happening, but my God, I just lost like 100 people in chat. Not because of you, James, but I don't know what's going on.
To be fair, I don't blame them if they left.
You can knock me out now if you want. I didn't know how.
Tell them all to come back.
No, you can stay. I don't know what happened, but it sums up my week really. But it doesn't sum up today because today was so positive and it was so great. And yes, hi squaddies, I'm back. And just a brilliant performance. I don't know how much what you said, James, because I couldn't hear you. But let me start at the very top, because a lot of people kind of balked at the starting lineup because there was no Declan Rice. What I love the most about today and today's performance is, and of course, images and everything I uploaded is disappearing as well. That's brilliant. What I liked about today was there was no Declan Rice. You could rest him. Mikel Merino, I think, deserved his shot after having such a prolific international break. And all the people that said Eze can't play on the left, to you. And I just think that it was a proven moment of Saliba's injured, Benjamin White's injured, Odegaard goes off injured, Havertz isn't available. That this squad is deeper than it's ever been before. And when you look at the bench as well, and the fact that you can bring on Declan Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly with 25 minutes to go, I think that was indicative of the work that Andrea Berta has done this summer. But the narrative from this is going to be one thing and one thing only, I believe. It'll be, of course, about Madueke's performance. But let's just talk about the elephant in the room. I think this performance is going to come down to a conversation about Odegaard. And are we better without Odegaard? And I think that people will take stock from the Leeds game when Nwaneri came on, when he went off. This was a much tougher matchup than Leeds. I think it would have been an even tougher matchup with Nuno as manager, just being honest. I don't think that Ange was quite ready for this. They've got a really good team. They've made really good signings. And I don't know about you, James. I'll start with you. But the big question is going to be, do Arsenal move faster? Is there more speed? Was it more about the effectiveness on the left? Does that goal for Gyokeres even happen if Martinelli's playing on the left? But I do think that this is going to be the biggest question mark and the biggest storyline, not necessarily from a lot of Arsenal people, but generally in the media.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only negative for the day for me was Odegaard picking up that injury. I mean, I know a lot of people will say he hasn't really, been great for a season and a bit now, and he's not, lit up the league and himself and the team in the games that we've had so far this season. But I can't necessarily say just based on a few minutes of a game today, a half and some change, whether we're going to be better without him or not. I think it's still too early to say. But what I did like was, and this is where, again, people hope your ears are here, hope your ears are open, because I'm going to praise the manager, which you say I never do, but here you go. He could have easily have moved Eze into that position and put Martinelli back on, on that left-hand side or what have you. But I like that he picked Nwaneri. I said the other week, didn't I? You made a whole big shebang about getting this guy re-signed, giving him a new contract and everything, and then you haven't used him. I like that he went for Nwaneri today. And Nwaneri, for me, weren't one of his best games by any stretch. There was a few chances that he rushed at and, they went high and wide or what have you. But yeah, I did like that he stuck to the plan of Eze playing on the left-hand side, and he proved people that said he can't play there wrong. He can. He's an amazing player. We talked about it, Sophie, at length before the international break, going, you've spent £172 million on a new strike force and you haven't utilised them in a game. Well, we utilised them today, and that's what you need to keep doing going forward. When Bukayo Saka comes back, of course he's going to go straight in the team. But when these players are out, use the ones that you've purchased. Like you said, Berta went, such lengths to get all of these players in, and we didn't use them. But we've used them today, and look what's happened. And hopefully this continues, because all of them, to a man, all the new players, and, they were superb today. And that's what we need to do. But yeah, Odegaard for me, still too early. If I'm back here in 4 or 5 games, ask me then.
It's funny because I was so blown away by Madueke's performance, especially in the first half. I mean, he was sensational. And we'll get to player of the match and all that stuff. And I'm sure the squaddies will be annoyed if I tell them that I was exchanging messages with Jason Cundy, and Jason said, he goes, I bet some of those gooners regret that petition now, Soph. I was like, yeah, they do. Mike, your quick take on the narrative that I think is going to come out of this, and we're better without Odegaard.
Well, I don't think we're better without the Odegaard that we signed.
Why are you so echoey?
I don't know. Shoot, sorry.
Is that Florida, no carpet, just, parquet flooring.
Maybe I should move outside, but yeah, there's no doubt.
Don't go in the pool, Mike. Don't go in the pool. That's just showing off.
We're better with the Odegaard that we signed, but this is not the Odegaard that we signed. You don't go from being an 8 or 9 as a player to being a 4, which is really what he's been most of the last calendar or 12 months, without some sort of injury being involved, some sort of or psychological situation going on. He's not right. It's clear he's not right, because the decisions he's making are different than the decisions he used to make. The quick thinking, the originality, the willingness to shoot when he's got opportunities to shoot, or the recent unwillingness to do it. He needs some time away. I think we've seen this with a lot of our players in the past, that you kind of get away from being in the team sheet every single game when you're struggling, and you find your game again. And he needs to find his game again. And unlike 2 seasons ago, to a degree last season, we've got a number of different people that can fill that role and fill it well, without weakening other parts of our team, like right wing and left wing. We've got Eze, we've got Ethan, we've got an embarrassment of riches in that situation. And I think we're better equipped, as we are with Saka, than we used to be, to survive him being out of form without having to play him into form. So yeah. I mean, I almost wonder, and I said this to somebody at the pub during the Leeds game when he first got hurt. I said, they're going to take him out before halftime, and this may be the beginning of some sort of, not contrived, but contrived injury situation to basically give him the cover as a professional to play less, to start fewer games, to say he's got a little bit of a niggle, and I didn't believe it was a real injury, and that was kind of my tinfoil hat. But I don't think it's the end of the world if he takes some time to just get right. I don't want to see him hurt. I'd love to see him on the bench rather than just out of our squad for 2 months. But there's a lot of improvement that we need there, and these games are too important, even this early in the season, to try to let him play his way back into form during the games.
Yeah. John, stop it. We're still arguing about Rice versus Odegaard. You don't need to throw this into the mix. Very nice. And Harvey, be quiet about California. Jesus Christ. Stop annoying everybody. Okay, so let's riff off the Odegaard thing a little bit, because Charles posed a question for us, and it will be part of our dialogue. And the squaddies are a bit at odds with regards to Declan Rice. So let's start here. What are everyone's Nwaneri thoughts? Clearly, he's not upped his 10 game yet. His passes and vision are not there. He needs to ask for a refund if Odegaard is the coach. Oh, okay. I should have read that a little bit better before I put it up. But I think you're being harsh on Nwaneri. I mean, did I miss something in this game, James, with regards to Nwaneri? I think the thing that holds Nwaneri back is his ball his off the ball, and what Mikel's going to be expecting from a defensive point of view. But to be honest, in this game, did Forest really do much to challenge that? I thought he took some good shots, didn't score, was, as creative as he could be, moved the ball forward very quickly whenever he could. Did I miss something about Nwaneri, James?
Look, again, 78 minutes worth of football. First real sort of glimpse that he's had this season, being a main player in an 8 role, which is where I always said that he would play as an 8 or a 10. Even when he was playing winger and he was doing well at winger last season, I was like, this guy isn't a winger. He's a centre mid or central attacking midfielder. And Yeah, he lost the ball quite a bit
Ooh.
when he was in there. But the guy takes more risks than Odegaard does. I think Odegaard at times, especially since he's been hurt, has played a lot of safe football. But Nwaneri takes a few more risks. I'd say he's a bit more durable now than Odegaard is, certainly. But you just got to wait. You just got to keep the patience with him because he's a good player, Nwaneri, and he's going to be important. I think Odegaard, looking at the way that he did hit that ground again today, I think that could be that I'm not going to say a very, very long, big injury, but I think it's going to be a significant injury. I think he will be out for quite a bit of time because it did look like a sore one on the landing. So I'll wait and see what the diagnosis is there. But yeah, I would still play Nwaneri there going forward. As much as I was happy for Moreno to be in there today, and we know what Rice can do as an 8. I think we need players that play the ball faster, and that is something that Nwaneri does as opposed to Moreno in that position. For me, so for the players that we've got up top now, they want the ball quickly and precisely. So play your quicker players. The best Arsenal teams that I've ever seen were direct and quick. Like all this about what we've said before with this winning the duels, winning the battles, statuesque, all this stuff. Scrap it. Just go direct and play fast. Because look what's happened. We did that today, and look what's happened. We've completely swept this team aside with ease. Could have been more.
I think Mike too. Like if Mikel had any doubts when Odegaard went off, he would have brought Eze into the 10 role and gone Martinelli or Trossard. But this was him showing faith in Ethan, saying, "You've got this now. I trust you. I believe in you." Because it happened very early on in the game as well. And I do think he benefited from Mikel Merino being in the midfield. And I think he also benefited from the fact that Madueke and Eze were having amazing games. But I see what you're saying about his stats. But also, I think, I don't know who said it in the chat, it's very difficult to come into a situation like this when you haven't been given too many minutes. Magic?
And when you're 18,
but by the way, sorry, he got 88% on his pass completion. So to say 60 is a bit,
Stick it, Gonna Galactico.
I don't know where these stats come from, but even if they were true, then, look, what the stats don't talk about is his impact on the speed of the game, like you guys have said, on the directness, on the energy. And, this guy is an 18-year-old who's played less than 20 games in the top flight, who, I think, based on both things I heard and kind of some figuring it out from what was going on when he really wasn't getting any minutes towards the end of the last season, I think his training was kind of part of what Arteta was wanting him to improve, and that he hadn't earned Arteta's trust to the degree that he would have to have gotten more of those minutes. And clearly what we don't see during the 90 minutes on the pitch is what they're doing on the training pitch and how they're playing. And I think, for him to be put into that situation like that, rather than a panic of moving Eze in, bringing in Martinelli, who also has not been in form, shows that he's regained his trust. And that can only be a good thing for his confidence. And, whether I got 60% pass completion, 78% pass completion, none of that talks about whether we would have had some of the opportunities that we did if he were not working the way that he does. So, that's the worst thing that we have to say about a game is talking about pass completion percentages for an 18-year-old that came in unexpectedly. I'll take that.
Yeah. I think, we give grace to a lot of players, and I think everyone expects Ethan to come in and be this stud, superstar, unicorn of a player. And Miles Lewis-Skelly having the season he did last season, I think everyone expects him to, do the same. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And title number 14 says, "Stop with this stats BS. Watch the game with your eyes, people. Much faster play, even if we lose the ball. So what?" And the other thing too is like it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Today, I felt this was one of the best games I've seen under Mikel Arteta, since 22, 23, 24. I loved everything about it. And the fact that you've got all of these injuries, and let's be honest, people have been praising Nottingham Forest, praising their summer transfer window, praising, the quality of the players. And they did, barring hitting the crossbar, which, by the way, David Raya on his 100th appearance, what a freaking save, that dude. They did really nothing. So let's talk about some more positives here, because Zubimendi scores a brace, doesn't really score goals, scores a brace. Just really unbelievable performance from him. People say that the volley got a deflection off the head of the defender. I actually think it came off the fingertip of the goalkeeper, but maybe
Correct.
I just wanted to...
No, you're spot on.
Am I?
Yep.
It was...
I thought it deflected off of a defender, but they had like 8 defenders in the box. But
yeah,
you don't get those deflections. Yeah, you don't get those deflections if you're not striking the ball unbelievably from there. I mean, look at that skill to be able to do that. So, I mean, that's a goal well earned, despite what I'm hearing TNT tried to, explain it away as kind of a lucky goal because of the deflection. That's just bollocks.
For those listening on audio, we're just looking at Zubi's form. I mean, he's kind of got that David Beckham pose there. And I mean, it was just an unbelievable finish. The technicality and the control and the confidence to have a go. And he could have got 2.
36 is the number of years ago it was the last time I could do that with my body. That's why he wears 36.
But he almost got 2 volleys. Let's talk a little bit about Zubimendi, because there have been some people that have been like, he hasn't set the world on fire. I'm like, dudes, do you not watch football? He's, number one, he works in the shadows. Number 2, I think he's brought this calmness to our midfield. I love the way that he can control the tempo in pockets of the game. I remember even Harry was talking about how this signing didn't move him. I'm just wondering if people who weren't moved are moved now, James.
I think when you score a goal like that, and you mentioned Beckham there, I had someone in another of my group chats that me and Albert friends with, Ray, and he said that it reminded him of the Scholes versus Barcelona. If you remember that one, from the set pieces. There's another one, the famous one by Paul Scholes from Aston Villa, but that's a completely different type of volley. But yeah, there's similar sort of angles and positions. But yeah, brilliant today from Zubimendi, even on his, defensive work and mopping up. When they got it out on a few of the set pieces that we had early, they're obviously on the break, and Zubimendi's the one that's there. He's one of the ones that stay back because, when you've got those big boys at centre half that are so good in the air, they're obviously going to go forward. So he's basically first line of defence, and he was mopping it up brilliantly as well. And yeah, I like plucking. I know people said leave the stats out of it, but 17% of that guy's goals in his whole career come in this game today. So I'll just throw that one out there for the fans.
It was really superb. And then
has no right to score that header second half.
No, and
someone so small to do that is incredible.
It reminded me of Messi, actually, when you'd see Messi score headers and you're like, come on, man, how are you letting this dude score a header on you? And I'm not comparing Messi talent to Zubimendi, everyone. Maybe at the end of the season I will.
Oh, yeah.
He's a better defensive player than Messi. We'll leave that there.
But Magic, the thing I loved about today, and I tweeted about it. This team today, especially in the first half, I was like, is that joy I see? Excuse me 1 second. Am I seeing footballers play with joy? Madueke's energy, infectious. Eza's energy, infectious. Zubimendi, I don't know if the dude actually stopped smiling. Infectious. Just absolute joy. And when the header went in and then you see the joy of the other players too, Mike, I just thought it was superb.
You just named 3 players as an example. What do those 3 players all have in common? Zubimendi, Eze, Madueke,
They got fearlessness, not fearful. They come in, they're new players, and there's no kind of history there. They're just playing
players.
football.
That's what they have in common. And if you don't think that the type of, I mean, look, it's easy to be happy when you've just scored and you're celebrating a goal, but that's not what your tweet was about either. I mean, it was about just the way they're approaching the game and the style that they're playing.
All of it.
And we know, I mean, even dating back to Edu, we know that the players that are brought into this squad are carefully examined for their personalities. I think it's pretty clear to see the difference between us and, say, a Chelsea in the way that we focus on the players' mentality, personality, what they're interested in and what they're not interested in when it comes to, big contracts. And I'm just saying how difficult they drive the negotiations. I mean, it's a carefully constructed team of people who, even though they've clearly only played together for a month in some cases in those pictures, you can already tell that they love each other and they love playing with each other. And to me, as not to sound like a broken record, but I haven't said it in a while, the mentality and the words, the way that the players play together, that is 80% of it to me. The other 20% is pure talent. And I know a lot of people would flip that, but I don't, because I think it's so evident in some of the big teams that you see that can buy and do buy anyone that they want, United, Chelsea, and you see when they get into struggles that are multi-season struggles, it's not because they're not good enough, it's because they don't have that tightness. And, when you saw Arsenal playing poorly over the course of 5 or 6 seasons, it was because we weren't good enough. And now I get the single season.
I'm just playing around.
But yeah,
it's driving me nuts.
I gotta wonder what Edu's sitting, I assume, in the director's box.
He was there with, I think it was his wife and one of his kids. Yeah, he was there.
Welcome back. But I wonder how he felt watching, literally if you ranked our players, if you were to have a podcast where you ranked our players after a game, I think possibly the top.
You mean like what we're doing now?
Kind of like that. You would probably rank the top 4 as being the four of the
non-Edu signings.
No, they're all Bertha signings, is what.
Yeah.
But they're all new signings, and that's the impression that they've made on the club. I mean, I'm a little disappointed we didn't see more of Kepa today, but I guess you can only play one keeper. I
mean, there's wait till Nkapie gets really stuck in, and Norgard will come back, and okay. So let's talk about riffing off the midfield and stuff. James, there's a lot of squaddies talking about. I mentioned it, and I want to go back to it about Declan Rice and how he didn't progress the ball when he came on as a sub, how things slowed down a lot, how Zubi and Declan can't really play together. What's your thoughts?
Nah, I don't believe that at all. Sorry, I totally disagree with that. They're going to be a formidable partnership because, like I've said before, and I'll repeat myself again, when it all eventually clicks, which it will, because it looked like it did slightly today, but Declan Rice is an absolute threat, especially going into the... But I mean, look at that chance he has where he's on the slide. If he scores that and we win 4-0 instead of 3-0 today, we're having a completely different conversation right now, Sophie, because everyone would be going, oh, look at Declan Rice. He don't even play a full game. He still comes on and scores goals. Ain't he amazing? We're having a completely separate convo than the convo we're having now. But he knows that, and Odegaard would be the same. Nwaneri's going to be the same now if he gets that position. Moreno knows him from previous, so I don't have to have that conversation. But these players can play maybe 5 or 10 yards further up because they know this guy's mopping behind it. Once that penny drops and they go, oh, wait a sec, he's that good. And then even if they do get behind him, our backline's so solid and the keeper's so solid, I might take more risks. I might do something a bit more risque because we got the people that mop up behind. So I can't think of why anyone would think they can't play together. They're going to be incredible. They're going to be so good together in a partnership. That midfield, when it fully clicks, which it will.
What are you doing, Magic? Mute yourself.
He's putting his mic in because people have.
Audio listeners are going to love this sound. Jeez, they're going to. Well, mute yourself and then fix your mic if you want.
Well, no, it's not. You know, people are still thinking that they're looking at Declan Rice as he's still a 6. He's not. He's progressed. Yeah, Dempsey's spot on. He's progressed so highly. He's not just a central defensive midfielder that picks out passes anymore. This guy's a serious contributor in defence and in attack. So to limit him to just being a DM is for me, it's a bit silly. I think it's a silly convo to have, really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. And I agree with you. And again, this is the 4th Premier League game of the season. We're going to see all of this marinate and how it comes out. And the fact that we're able to have these kinds of discussions, I'm so excited about the depth of this squad. I can't even stand myself from the excitement, because when you think about Saka going down, Odegaard going down, Havertz going down, Benjamin White going down, Saliba going down. Last season, we were losing our minds, absolutely losing our minds, because we didn't have the backup. Okay, so we've talked a little bit. I'm saving the defense for last, by the way, and there's a reason for that. So hold on to your horses, kids. A lot of you have been posting his name, and we're going to get to that. But again, some people complaining, Roland, isn't anyone concerned about the lack of service to Gyokeres? 4 games played, 3 chances. Okay, so this is where sometimes we need to also be reasonable, right? To me today, that Gyokeres goal doesn't happen if Martinelli is playing on the left. Some people may think that's harsh, but it is my truth. The quickness, and by the way, getting lost in some of this is that ball from Calafiori.
I'm glad you've brought this up, Soph, because there are people within your realm at the radio station and within your realm of the TV channel that called Calafiori's ball the other week a fluke. Well, I've seen 2 of them in 4 games. This guy knows I can ping a ball on a sixpence, and I've got players that can run and do it. I mean, the guy's a fool for letting the ball bounce. I don't know who that was for Nottingham Forest. He's an absolute clown for letting the ball bounce. I'm sorry, you should never do that in football. That's one of the first things you learn. Don't play to the whistle. Don't pass across your own box, and don't let a ball bounce over your head. But honestly, first touch as well, Eze. First touch. He didn't take a touch and then pass it. He instinctively played it across the box. He knew he's onside. He knew Gyokeres is on the side. And yeah, that's people going, oh, well, he's just a tap-in merchant. Give me a tap-in merchant. We ain't had a striker that loves scoring goals for years. Give me a tap-in merchant. I'll kindly have one. There was one that played up the road and now plays in Germany, and everyone raves about him. I'll have a tap-in merchant every day of the week.
Geez, I mean, it's kind of like when you put on a dress or a pair of trousers and you say, hey, babe, does my ass look big in this? No, you look great. You look great. And you don't know if they're shining you.
I like big asses, Sophie, so I don't mind.
I told you look great. I mean, Calafiori is, because he's a bit of a hot mess defensively. Like, he got a bit messy towards the end, right? Let's be honest. He got a card. And the opportunity that came off Chris Wood's chest started from him losing possession just, past the halfway line. But that pass was absolutely sublime. Totally agree with everything you said. And Magic, Eze's first time pass, he didn't look down. He didn't dribble. I literally, do you know what I did when that goal went? And I kissed Vinny and I was like, Vinny, you're not going to believe what just happened. A one-touch pass and a one-touch goal from the left side, Magic.
Now, was Vinny watching with you? Were you human-splaining to him what happened, or
dog-splaining?
I love that, and I miss Vinny. I actually miss Vinny. Vespa, that goes without saying, but Vinny, he's a good lad.
I mean, he's top geezer.
Yeah.
Raya, Vespa here is making her David Raya save. Look at that. Beautiful. Go on, Magic. I mean, I thought it was absolutely sublime. And people who are complaining about Gyokeres and not enough, we've been crying out for a number 9. Tap in Merchant, like James says, we'll take it all day long. Score from outside the box, take on 3 players at Leeds. He nearly broke the goalpost in the second half, like freaking Hulk.
Maybe wait more than 3.5 games before you start labeling a player as a tap-in merchant or as a waste of money. And I remember there was a post, a YouTube video that I saw that's gotten 2.5 million views, and it was posted by a United fan after we played them in the opening match of the season. This is what Arsenal paid 64 million for. Ha 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 ha. And I'm like, what are we doing here? This guy has 8 years of playing the way that he's played in multiple scenarios in Champions League, in an admittedly weak league in Portugal. I mean, let's not just bury Gyokeres as being one thing or being another. He's something very, very different than what we've had. And that goal, as I was joyfully saying with my children who were texting me all over the place this morning while watching the game, which makes you feel great, is that goal doesn't happen last year. And then my daughter goes, Martinelli wasn't capable of doing that, and I'm not sure, Havertz would have finished it. And I'm like, nothing against either of the two of them, but you're right, that doesn't happen. Those are the kinds of goals where you can easily see the benefit of the transfers that we've made.
Mike, it was boom, boom, bosh. 3 touches.
It felt early, it felt quick because it was so soon after the second half whistle, but it was quick. I mean, we got from back to front so quickly, and that is, if we're capable of doing that on a more regular basis, we're going to stretch teams that are used to packing us into the box. I'm no tactician, but it just seems to me that that's an element to our game that's going to start getting defenders to panic.
Well, our guy,
sorry, Soph, Mike's spot on there, because after we scored that goal in the first half, we did noticeably drop off. And you get some people that start to get that worry about last season, these are the times where we're ahead. So many times we were in leading positions and then we ended up drawing and losing. And you're just like, look, we need to get into these second half. They're not as, Ange has only been there a day. That's it. And again, what do we keep saying? Direct, fast. Play your fast players, play your direct players. Look what happens.
And let's see how their guys do, by the way. But the amount of crap that Gyokeres has gotten, and I'm so happy that Stevie Nicol, when he was on before the Liverpool game, defended Gyokeres and was like, what is wrong with people? He was really super worried about Florian Wirtz. And, if he was, he thought it was a lot of money to spend. And of course, we know and we're seeing what's happening with Sesko. So this guy is a number 9. He's got an old school traditional vibe about him. He's beastly. He runs. He does unselfish runs and work. He hustles. He takes 2 plays. He opens spaces. He may not be touching the ball all the time or taking the shots that you want all the time. But my goodness, this guy's a grafter, and he's a grafter in a different way to Havertz as well. Havertz, I think, is much better off the ball and tracking back and stuff like that. But Gyokeres is going to grow into this team. If he's doing this now, I can't wait to see what he's doing, in a few months' time as well. I think it just bodes really well. All right, so
compare him to like a modern day version of an Alan Smith type player.
He's more physical than Smudger. He reminds me of, Haaland doesn't. I think Haaland doesn't get credit for what he does sometimes off the ball and his passing, and Kane is definitely more involved in the game. But to me, he just seems like, not talent-wise, but physically, he reminds me of a Kevin Davies type. The Bolton striker. He's much more talented than that, of course. Where sometimes he may look awkward, but he's got really good feet. He's very good technically. His movement is good. You may think that he's sluggish, but you've seen him today. He's fast. He's pacey. And he's not even fully fit yet. So, yeah, I think that he's got that old school number 9 vibe about him. You know, Wayne Rooney never looked pretty, you know, I mean, playing at times. Anywho, let's move on to
good save.
Yeah, thank you. Let's move on to a player who I supported from day one. I'm trying to find the petition, but I just can't find it right now. I'm sure I will eventually. But if there's one day for him to do the sleep pose, it's Nani Madueke. He was unbelievable. He was just everywhere. He was fearless. He ran forward. He tried to make things happen. I didn't care if he lost the ball on a few occasions, because what he was trying to do on the ball, make things happen, his movement, taking players with him. Eventually, he was taking 2 players with him. Everything was running through him on that right side. But the complementary play left and right, unbelievable. James, you and I backed Noni from day one. A lot of people did back Noni from day one. Magic backed Noni. Superb performance.
Yeah, he's arguably been one of our best forwards this season. Arguably, already, in the small sample size that we have. Yeah, I'm over the moon for him. And do you know what I really enjoyed? And I was mentioning this in my bit where I was also asking for help and to be saved. I thought it was great that he come off standing ovation, name being chanted, you know, song within 4 games. That's it. You know, but he's a good player. He was a good player at Chelsea. It just went wrong. You know, when you buy every single footballer that exists and you're not getting enough game time because they buy every footballer that exists, it doesn't work. But we've seen it with Kai Havertz. Come into an environment where you're shown love and appreciation and you will flourish. And that's what happened here. I mean, Sophie, I'm going to say this now. You won't have a clue what I'm talking about. I'm going to say it to Mike. Mike will know straight away. Say his name and he appears, I believe, in Madueke. It's that, isn't it? It is.
Is this some WWE thing?
There you go.
Jesus Christ. I love it, though. I'm sure that will go down well with a lot of our listeners, the WWE reference.
James and I are begging to do a show on Highbury Squad, just for the little Venn diagram overlap of Highbury Squad and WWE.
Jesus, count me out.
We're going to convert you, Soph. We're going to make you a fan. We're going to convert you.
Never. Honestly, I worked in the entertainment industry for many, many years. I could never get into that. I couldn't. And I've said it to JJ as well, who's whose family is in legends of wrestling. You can call JJ and get him to do the show.
His brother-in-law is arguably the Dennis Bergkamp of wrestling. Let's you know, that's how technical. that's how good his brother-in-law is.
And he's a good guy as well.
Again, so she couldn't stay away.
See, we're losing listeners because we're talking about WWE. Right, Gyokeres Bank. So let's talk about, for me, what I've started. The brightest spark today, I think, was Madueke. The weakest link, I don't know if there really was one. I'm not going there today. The under the radar performance. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Christian Mosquera.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't think I'd see silk like Saliba. And no, I'm not going to go over the top, people. And no, I'm not being melodramatic. I just call it as I see it. Guy.
Go over the top. I've gone over the top.
This guy.
Ballon d'Or.
I mean, what can you say about him? On the ball, composure. Off the ball, positionally, smart, astute, tracking back, speed, in the air. The relationship with, you would think that he's been playing with Big Gabby for ever and ever and ever. And say it loud, say it proud. Mosquera. I asked some Arsenal fans on the show the other day who they think their biggest surprise of the season is going to be. And bless them, they all said Mosquera, and then a couple of them changed just to be different. And I'm like, no, just say who you think. It is... And I don't like Panto. I hate Panto. He's behind you. Mosquera, brilliant. James, I think we found the gem. And listen, I know there's going to be a lot of people saying, well, you know what? Maybe we should sell Saliba for 150 million to Real Madrid. No, how you win championships and how you go on and become prolific is having a Saliba and a Mosquera in the side. James Johnson.
Yeah, I had to, because I'm not well. I can barely speak English, so I'm not well versed in foreign languages. I went on Google Translate straight away and was like, "What's mustard in Spanish?" And I found out it's mostaza. So yeah, the guy is mostaza.
Mostarda.
He's absolute mostaza. What a footballer, by the way. And Sophie, something that will go lost, and I want to say it before I forget about it because I do that a lot as well. This is his second full game for this football club. But look at the way the players keep giving him the ball and letting him dictate play. That's how you know he's a player, because they keep giving him the ball to dictate and to progress out and everything. When they trust him that much already, you know that this is a footballer. This is a player, because they just kept giving him the ball, have it again, try and find something else. And the diving header in the second half from that cross, oh my word. I'm like, when you get someone that's good at both sides of the game like that, you are gonna speak like this. So, what a player! And we all love Saliba, and I know for a fact that Saliba, the minute he is fit, is going to come straight back in. But I wouldn't begrudge not dropping this guy at the moment. I know that sounds mental, and I know Saliba's going to come straight back in the minute he's fit, but he's got to fight for that shirt, because this guy is class. This is class.
This is what I don't like where managers do sometimes. And it happens if you're a certain level of player, you just get your shirt back. If a player who's stepped in for you has been brilliant, he just comes back in. It's like Saka's been amazing for us. He saved us. If Noni's going to play the way he is right now, Saka needs to... I'm sorry, people are going to think I'm crazy. But also, why not protect Saka? He's played a lot of football. He's coming back from hammies. Let Noni ride this wave. Bring Saka in.
We're getting 3 games a week coming up, and Arteta believes that these players can play 3 games a week. They've shown their bodies can't.
So they can't.
He's going to have to do this. And I'm like, look how well they are. The best compliment, again, that you can give Mosquera is none of us miss Saliba today. None of us are going, I really wish Saliba
Well, not even against
today.
Liverpool did we miss Saliba.
Exactly. That's the best compliment you can give the guy.
Yeah, Mike, what I was saying on the show the other day was I actually think Big Gabby was our best defender last season, better than Saliba, I thought, up until the injury. Today he showed and exuded all the leadership. I think it's because Saliba's been so brilliant and he's so up there, it's been gone missing a little bit, that actually Big Gabby has played better defensively than him. Now you've got Mosquera, who was unbelievable today again. Fearless, absolutely. He's coming into the Premier League. And all the stats that we went through with Kevin Hatchard in terms of his appearances, his touches, he's like number 1 in all stats across all of the top 5 leagues in Europe. I mean, this guy is an absolute gem. Andrea Berta stole him from Spain.
Yeah, I mean, turns out we do sign some players well below what we probably should have paid for them, and we've always been pretty good at that. Not so much on the selling side, but that's not this discussion. Saliba gets the nod because, he's world class. There's no question he's world class, but he tends to be the one who does the more eye-catching things. I can't even count on 2 hands, I don't think, the number of times he has essentially raced full speed back and made what David Luiz would have turned into a penalty. He's done a clean tackle and saved a one-on-one with the keeper. And those are the reasons why I think he gets the kind of plaudits that he does as being, for some people, the better of the 2 defenders with Gabriel. But Gabriel just solidly, game after game after game, defensively, not just his ability to score off of corners and that element to his game, but the defensive play. I was right with you last year that he was the better of the 2. Not that it matters, upgrading the people behind them is what, not having done that, cost us the league a few years ago, or it cost us 4th place a few years ago when Saliba got hurt and Holding replaced him. I liked Jakob Kivior as a defender, but we've clearly upgraded on him with Mosquera. Hincapie
Yeah.
is getting close to what he is said to be. We now have 4 really, really good center backs, not to mention the others who can play center back when they're healthy and if needed, like Ben White.
I mean, look at us. We're stacked right here, showing an image. We've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's versus. You've got Saliba, you've got Timber, you've got Benjamin White, you've got Mosquera, you've got Calafiori, you've got Hincapie, who, by the way, if you didn't see the game he played against Argentina in the qualifier, you should go watch those highlights. What an absolute mustard of a player. I mean, this is insane. This is so good. And you know what? I want to move on to the gaffer, because we've had conversations about him. You know, I even asked, like, when you have all this talent, if we carry on playing like we have done, is he the weakest link? But you've got to give credit where credit is due. And what I liked what he did today too is he's hopefully learning. You don't have to start Rice every game, right? And then with about 20 minutes to go, you start making your subs. Even protected Gyokeres today. He had a really good game. He got a goal, bring him off. You know, there was really good man management and in-game management. And you've got to give him credit. He got the starting 11 spot on, whether you wanted, Declan to start or not. To me, Mikel Arteta today gets an absolute 10 out of 10, because the other thing too is, if you look at our history, coming back from an international break and having a 12:30 kickoff, it has not been pleasant. And to come back and to have the team this prepared and to have the choices that you do, and thank goodness everyone came back unscathed. But I think, and then there's all the talk of the new manager bump. Ange hasn't even beaten Mikel ever, but you never know, right? And like I said, they had a good window. James, I thought the turnkey, one of Mikel's best kind of team selection, in-game management, taking care of plays at the end.
Yeah, spot on. I'm loud in my criticism and I'm loud in my praise. I always have been, always will be. What I love this season, Soph, is the Man United game. He used all 5 of his subs. Leeds game, all 5 of his subs. Liverpool, he only made 4. But then again, Mosquera had to come on early because he got injured, so I can sort of give him a bye there. Today, again, 5. Used all 5 of them. And that shows to me that, like you said, he is learning. We know that he, like with Pep Guardiola, he values a small group. But I've always believed he's never fully trusted the groups that he's had previously. Well, I believe now, with what Berta's done, he fully backs every single name that's on that sheet. He believes at any point can come on for me and do something for me. I think he fully believes the squad that he's been backed with financially to get, that they will come on and do something. So, yeah, spot on from him today. And, I watched the video with him and Steve Kerr in the week, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. I thought it was brilliant.
The bowl?
Yeah.
If you put a bowl in the garage.
But there was one key point where he said about his stubbornness and his unwillingness to change. But he said he's learning on that. And he said, I used to, when I saw a small window, think that was the best way. But now instead of the small window, I want to open the big door. And I'm like, I like sound bites and quotes. And I really enjoyed that one. And I'm like, you've got the big door now, so open the big door. You don't have to go through the small window anymore. Open that big door, Mikel, because he's got the players to do it. The thing for me, I've always said, is it's the mentality, and it's his mentality that then feeds into them players. And I'm like, where he's using all of these players and doing this, I'm like, you're showing the backing. You mentally. You're backing him. What's the other quote? A poor workman will always blame his tools. Well, he's got brilliant tools here. So get that work done.
Yeah. What's interesting is with Mikel, when you talked about emotion there real quick, I just wanted to touch on it, right? Another shot of Mosquera, why not? In between the lads. Is that he talks about emotion a lot. I'm Greek. I love emotion. But we Greeks and Spaniards and Italians sometimes take emotion to too emotional. And I think we could play this way and have a brilliant season and get to like March and people start talking about us more. The pressure's always going to be on, but it's managing the emotions. It's having emotion, but not being too emotional. On the sideline, Rebecca Lowe told us, she goes, I don't know if it was just the first game, Soph, but he seemed calmer. When she spoke to him and interviewed him, she said, there just seemed to be something a little bit different about Mikel this season. And maybe, James, he has learned, he has to learn and he has to grow in his position. And Mike, we've seen a lot of an emotional Mikel, and we do need less emotion, but still him being himself. But maybe this is going to be something different this season, and being able to do what he did today and seeing that if I do make a sub earlier, if I do rest Declan Rice, if I do play Eze on the left when everyone's telling me he's a number 10, that I think will give him every confidence to trust, like James said, these plays even more.
Yeah, I mean, his knock has been that he's stubborn, he's inexperienced, and he is both of those two things, despite this being his 6th season. And I can already hear you can't use the inexperience thing anymore. I'm not talking about the number of years. I'm talking about the number of jobs that he's had. And you'd rather have him kind of pick up on things later than never. I just don't think he was willing to risk a lot on players that he did not have full confidence in, full trust in. And, you don't go unless you're just Chelsea or City or United. You don't go from the players that he inherited in 18-19 or 19-20 and have trust in 25 players that you can play in every single game. So the subs, I think, will start coming a little earlier as we start getting into 2 games a week. I was trying to find the timing of our subs, and it does look like the first one was about 68 minutes. So it wasn't quite 70, 75 like we're used to, but I think those will start to trend earlier as he gets more comfortable with the fact that there's no drop-off or very little, if any, drop-off, or even in some cases when you've got a changed 11, there's actually a pickup when super subs all over the place with the depth that we have. So
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he's as long as he continues to show that he is growing with the team, with the quality of the team, with the money that we spent on the team, that he's also evolving, I'm happy. If he's still coaching like he did 3 years ago with the team we have now, then we've got a problem.
There's a lot of people who went at him after Liverpool. And we definitely talked honestly here about he needs to trust himself. He's the guy that created that belief in the 22, 23, 23, 24 season. He's the guy that put them up week in, week out to play that way. And he just needs to trust himself and trust that he can have that Arsenal again. And with a deeper squad and everyone staying fit, maybe he will. And I tell you, Andrea Berta bringing his prowess to the table and making these deals happen and stealing players like Mosquera, even Zubimendi, the price that you're seeing, like what, other teams have paid for players. It has been, we need to take advantage of this moment. Now is the time. And hopefully, it'll go well for us this season. There's one other player I wanted to just mention. Stole this pic from AFTV. They won't mind. Mikel Merino, 100 appearances. By the way, 100 appearances. And also, I forgot to put this up, but Eze was on the cover of the program. But David Raya, 100 appearances for the Arsenal, double Golden Glove winner. And Mikel was waxing lyrical about him and talking about he made that tough decision and got crap. And I was definitely one of the people that, got crap. And if you please go give our goalkeeper show an opportunity. I recorded it with Paul Buckle. And for those of you who don't know, Paul's married to Rebecca Lowe, who's the host of NBC Premier League here. He used to manage Luton Town. And he was a coach at Southampton, an assistant as well. It is so important. Like, it's almost like Mikel heard this show. He talked about the most dangerous pass in football is a forward pass to a forward player. And we talked about putting goalkeepers under pressure, playing out the back. We questioned like David Raya's positioning on, not a lot of people like that, on the Liverpool goal about being set. The goalkeeper show will be coming to you once a month. And I love doing this. And it is inspired by me being wrong about Raya and me wanting to show as much praise as I can for David Raya, who literally made an amazing save again today. Chris Wood off the chest, and the stability that he has brought to our defense. It all starts with him, but that unit isn't a unit without the confidence and the always awareness of a David Raya. And just wanted to congratulate him on his 100th appearance for the Arsenal, and that, you know, Mikel Arteta was 100% right about this. I was 100% wrong, and he continues to prove people like me wrong over and over and over again. You may not like how something was done, doesn't mean you didn't think he was talented, but you're still wrong. And well done, David Raya. And I just wanted to make sure that we gave him a mention as well, boys. If there's anything you wanted to add about David?
Yeah, he's awesome.
I just looked at Googled up like goalkeeper rankings to try to find some semi-legitimate news source, which I ended up finding Sports Illustrated. So we'll see.
I can't please these guys.
He's listed as a number 4 keeper in the world, only behind.
Well done, Magic, for pulling that stat out. Much better than the stat about Ethan Nwaneri earlier in the show. You guys are harsh. It doesn't matter. So if you're only as good as your last game. And then this one from Jojo Rabbit. Great movie. Not a great post here. Going overboard with a routine win against Forest at home. This is a team that everyone was talking about, like maybe pulling a Leicester last season. And they got back into...
and not only that, they're backing it up.
If I'm harsh, I'm delusional. I give praise, I'm delusional. I mean, what is it?
How about we just... This, I don't want to get into why I haven't been podcasting that much in the last year.
Don't get into it.
But this whole mentality of you know, you can't just say what you're thinking and be in the moment. BS is bothersome to me, and you know, I was going to start the pod out if the next pod that I did, he only pods when we're winning. Yeah, I only pod when we're winning because I like this feeling better than the other one, and I like talking about it and waxing philosophical about it a lot more when we win well. So, you know, if you think we're overreacting and we need to just not be as happy because next week we play City and it might not go as well, then...
And we're going to be critical, Mike, and we're going to call them out, and we're going to do what we do. That's what sports broadcasting is all about.
Or they'll beat them 5-1 like we did last year, and the podcast will be an hour and a half of people just going absolutely nuts. I mean, that's what this is. I think this is what it's supposed to be. And
this is going to be...
Great today. They played great today. We don't have to temper it with anything.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, although I have done during this podcast, but what can I say? I'm just so happy and enthusiastic and just want to jump in. Hi, Vessi. Gosh, didn't hear you there. The test is going to be Newcastle and Man City. And the thing with Arsenal is, it's like everyone says, well, let's see how they do against Newcastle. Well, let's see how they do against Manchester City. Well, let's see how every team does the following week. I mean, it's ridiculous. But those are the games that we're going to have to perform and win and show that, you know, a transitional Forest with players being upset that Nuno left and Ange coming in with only a few days to work with them. You know, you still play who's in front of you. But, you know, going away to Newcastle and beating them, that would be a mega result. You know, beating Manchester City, that would be a mega result. And if we only take one loss from this opening fixture list that everyone said was horrific, and that's against the champions, Liverpool, who again are looking like a menacing team. I don't care what anyone says. People are like, oh, they haven't even played well. They were lucky again. No, stop. They're organised. They got talent. I think we have a better bench than them. And I think that if they lose a couple, like a Salah or a Van Dijk, I think they could be in real trouble. But that's all we've got. What's your closing statement to the Squaddies kids? And Albert, good to see. Albert's going to be doing a video. Did you do the video, Albert? I'm not going to say that. Albert was going to do a video at the Emirates. We'll see. Look out for it in the video section, but he's in the chat right now. Just got back from the game, so you'll be hearing from him a bit later. Your 30-second closing magic for the Squaddies. You're going to get a better mic next time you come on? Yes.
Okay. Was I expecting to be on a podcast today? No. Do I have a brand new mic that I haven't even taken out of the box yet? Yes. And I apologize for the echo. Squaddies, I have missed you tremendously. Thank you for not panicking that when you got back on, Sophie, I was just in here. But I was go back and watch it. I was really trying to help out my buddy JJ. And I'm just excited to have had a chance to talk about this club that I love on a day where it's really, really easy to love them. So everyone, please, because Tammy's not here, like, subscribe, give Sophie some love because she definitely deserves it for persevering through these weird media days and putting out amazing content for you multiple times a week. So my closing statement is I love you, Soph, and I'm happy that we got a chance to do this together.
Thank you, Magic. Thanks very much. James, what say you? What's your 30-second closing statement?
Just thanks everybody for tuning in. Much appreciated. Thank you, Mike, for saving me because I needed saving. That was spiraling into absolute chaos. And enjoy the weekend. You know, we laid the marker. You know, the other teams now they got to try and match our result. So let's see how it goes. Long way to go. Long way to go.
Well said.
We've got 3 games.
Yes.
And again, 3 games in a week, Soph. And people, it's a routine win against Nottingham Forest. Well, talking about the games next and everything, we've done this for years, and look where it's at. Take it one at a time. It makes your life so much easier. Just do it one at a time.
Can we please enjoy a win when our team wins? It's just joyous, and it's been a dark week, and this is joy. Sports takes you to a place that nothing else can. Sports or a film, or the new series on Prime with Robin Wright called The Girlfriend. It takes you to a place, Just find joy in the win. And
when you see Dominic Mysterio winning the championship, there's just moments, isn't there?
I've
got a photo screensaver, and on my TV right in front of me, which you can't see, is a picture of me with the late, amazingly great Dave Faber, aka Gunnar Hollick, and just came up on the screen as you said. Take the joy in the wins, and he's someone that taught me that very, very early on in my podcasting experience, and couldn't agree with you more. So,
is that true, Albert? That Eric Abidal passed away? That is really sad. You see what I mean, guys?
Jeez.
There was and listen, people in chat making wisecracks about stuff. Stop it. This is what really annoys me. Do not talk politics in the live chat. This is a football podcast, okay? And I've seen some of the comments, and I expect better from you guys. And you know what Super Kev would say as well. Kev was all about love. This channel is all about love. Sure, we criticize and we say things about our team, and that is why we're here. We connect on a level, right? But you could disagree with someone. Do not mock death. When people in this world lose people left, right, and center in all walks of life every single day, death is not a laughing matter. Please don't bring that here. I'm asking you with respect and with kindness to not do that. It is not cool, not with me. So I would appreciate it very, very much. This is what's happening in football. We tear people down because they don't agree with our opinion. We tear this person down because they don't agree with our opinion. We have lost the ability to listen to each other. We've lost the ability to have compassion. We've lost the ability to just humanize our conversations again and strip away anger, please. I don't want that here, and I'm just telling you that. I love you guys so much. So
I hope
do
you don't
not.
mind. I just banned that guy because he's continuing to go worse and worse.
I mean, that's a regular listener, so I will discuss it with
I
him.
didn't want any more of it today. I didn't
privately. So anyway, enjoy the win. I don't know what's happened. Did you remove everyone from chat?
God, I hope not.
The whole chat's disappeared.
Well, I'm glad that we're done with the show. I apologize for ruining everything.
Yeah, and it's exactly what's happening. And look, your Super Kev's godmother passed away as well this week. And she was a wonderful woman, and Kev used to love going to visit his godmother. So my heart goes out to the Campbell family again, and just, realize that, and I'll be honest, my dad's been in hospital for over a week. Tony's unwell. I've been having tests. I mean, look, there's things that go on in people's lives that we just don't know about. And I share a lot with you on here. So let's just be kind, all right? Because we don't know what's going on behind closed doors for a lot of people. Rest in peace, Eric Abidal. Albert, thank you for sharing that news with us.
True. There's a lot of actual, from what I can tell, there's very unreliable sources saying that he's passed and some reliable sources saying that he hasn't.
Well, we'll find out in the coming days. Look out on the community page for the next live show. And just remember, don't forget to tell your loved ones you love them. At ease, and try and find some joy in your team today and the fact that we won with silver linings in life. Take care, everyone.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good news about Eric Abidal, hopefully. A good note to end on.